gonna have to go on and pay for you. I'll do that later. But what's up with it? What's up with it, y'all? Just uh modulating, you feel me? Spectating and all the different things, trying to stay in my lane, you feel me? The lane that I so called created type shit. Nah, nah, I kind of want to come in. It's a couple of things. Wait, let me turn that on so I can hear myself. It's a couple of things that I want to kind of talk about, and I kind of want to go over, and maybe we can have a conversation about it today. And like, basically, what I want to talk about is consciousness. I had put together this video that I was gonna make about consciousness because I want to do like a little series of talking about consciousness, and it came out pretty good. It came out pretty good if you ask me. What's up with it, Velvet? What it do? Same thing over here. Everything is good. Everything is good. But I came out with this video that I was going to do on consciousness. And I said, instead of making it a video, I guess I'll just listen to it here. You feel me? And then we can talk about it. And then afterwards, talk about whatever. You know how we usually do. Just kind of get into whatever we're talking about on the live stream. I don't know what that's going to be, but today and I know I was supposed to be here Thursday and Friday, but I ain't gonna lie, I got off, I was burnt out. Once I got off of work, I was just kind of burnt out because I'm trying to get my sleep back in order from being up on the late night, getting off late on Monday through Wednesday, and then trying to be up all day and still try to be up late on Thursday and Friday. Is just like kind of a hassle because then I get up early, take the kids to school, and then by the time I go to work and get off work at like 10 o'clock, 9:30, I'm like, I get home by 10, I'll be kind of burnt, bro. And like last night and night before, I was burnt out. I just wanted to go to sleep. So that's basically what I did. I just kind of went to sleep. And usually today be my day that I kind of dive in. And I'm not going, and it's wild, right? Because I'm so used to diving on weekends now that when the time come up, like I won't eat. It's a lot of things that my body just get used to not doing to prepare for the dive. But the weird thing about it is my sleep and my dreams. My dreams just been kind of wild. It's like once you get to this place, which I don't know what it's called, you reach this certain understanding in life, and you start dreaming. Your dreams don't be the same no more. It's like your dreams be more, what do they call it? Like you be woke, like literally woke in your dreams. Like you have a better understanding of even what's going on. So even if you're not playing like you woke in your dreams, you be so woke that you be doing stuff in your dreams that literally had you just like, whoa. When I woke up, I was like, golly, wait, hold on. Like I was, I had a dream to where like I'm in reality, I'm acting reality, and then this entity came and it started showing me how to change reality to where it was like everything looked at the whole reality we're looking at that I'm in and I'm just acting out in, it looked at fuzzy. But it was weird because when he put his finger up and go like that and touch something, that little space pop out, and then he can take it and move it out the way and put something else in there. And I'm like going, what the fuck? I'm like, how'd you do that? And like he's showing me how to do it, and I'm doing it. Like I started doing it because it looked at fuzzy, almost like everything was made out of like these weird dots or something. And now I'm like clicking certain parts of it, certain things in it, in the reality, in the dream. And when I click it, the dots, they'll light up, and that part right there will pop out, and then I can just move it out the way and I can just put something else in there. It was like the trippiest thing. And I'm going, bro, this is wow. I'm like, and I had a couple more. I forgot them though, because I always try to remember them. And the thing is, I probably need to record a video after I wake up of the dream that I have, because they always wild. And I mean, when I fall asleep, I dream. And like say if I wake up in the middle of the night and I do something, or and I remember the dream, as soon as I go back to sleep, I'm dreaming again. So it's like every time I sleep, I'm dreaming. So a lot of times if I wake up 3 times in the night, I'll have 3 different dreams every time. Every time I go back, I'll have another dream, and it'll be like hella crazy. So I'm gonna start making videos of those, because the dreams be showing me how open my mind is to reality, and being able to even, lucid dream while I'm dreaming. So it's like, it's kind of trippy. And I get into that. But wait, what is this? Oh, okay. No, I'm up there watching this. Okay. Now we're gonna get into this right here that this script that I made, that I was messing around with. And I want to see and I want it's about consciousness though. You feel me? Because you know when it comes to reality, the one thing that you start figuring out is, like I said, if this is the matrix and everything is the matrix, then nothing is real. None of it. All of it is the same thing. And no matter how hard we try to make it be something, it's still all the same thing. If it's the matrix, it's the matrix. That means nothing is actually real, even though we have the control to make it real. And then that's what I was trying to get into. Like there is no you running the system. You feel me? You think you run the system, but you're really not. The system is running itself. And when you look at reality and the way people act and what people are doing, you can actually see that. You can see that the system is running itself. The system don't need a person to be anything. The system gonna help you be something, because the system already made the you and designed the you. You feel me? The aspects of the you was already here before you even got here. They were already here. So when you took different parts and it made it seem like you were creating or doing this thing, no, this thing was already in control, and it was leading whatever it was that you were. You feel me? Into these different aspects of life. So he said, that Sora video you made where you told your Sora it ain't, oh yeah, it ain't the Matrix. And it's like, wait, hold on. What do you mean I ain't real? I am real. Look at me. You feel me? And that's what we do. Like, but that's part of it. That's part of it when you think about it. Once you say this, like even me, every day when I wake up, I am real. I gotta do this, I gotta do this. But whenever you put the I in it, that's when it becomes the story. That's when the story begins to play. So I'm gonna just go on and I'm gonna play the video, and then you'll see what I'm talking about. Hold on, let me see. Oh dang. I haven't even matter of fact, I'm gonna have to share it, because I didn't even put it in here to be real. Let's see. Let me post it. What's up with it, Wally? Yeah, I'm gonna pull you in after we listen to this, Wally. I'm gonna pull you in, and anybody else that's trying to come in. It's always a mutual understanding. Like the channel is always open for everybody. Period. That's just what it is. Okay, yeah. Let me share that. I don't, I was doing something totally different while I was recording this. I don't know why, but I'm still playing. I was on the phone while I was recording. Okay, I'm gonna post the link after we listen to this, Wally, so you'll have something to talk about as when you come in. All right, we're gonna have something to talk about, guaranteed.
Let's start with something uncomfortable. Most people believe
Can
there
y'all
is a
hear it?
self inside them,
Why
a
is it so
central
low?
me, the one thinking thoughts, making decisions, and having experiences. But when you look closely, that assumption starts to fall apart because consciousness does not arise from the self.
Look, I'm
The
getting
self
my
arises inside consciousness. First, we need to get the order right. Experiences happen before identity. A sound appears, a sensation appears,
okay, yeah,
a
that's
thought
right.
appears, and only afterward does the mind say, "That happened to me."
Yeah, it's weird because I was explaining it, like Matter of fact, man, let me just, I'm just, what I'll do is instead of even doing that, I'll just read the script because that's, that's too much. And then, matter of fact, hold on, Wally, I'm gonna share it right now. And then as I read it, it'll be easier because I can read sometimes. You feel me? Sometimes I can read shit. I don't like to, but I can. It's just what it is. So let me should I do it like that? Okay, yeah. So I just posted it so you can pop in. So all right, it's say let's start with something uncomfortable. Most people believe there is a self inside them, a central me, the one making thoughts, making decisions, and having experiences. But when you look closely, that assumption starts to fall apart because consciousness does not arise from the self. The self arises inside consciousness. Oh dang, you disconnected, Wally. But yeah, because that's how it is though. Like the self kind of starts within consciousness. It's like, that's the crazy thing about it. You feel me? The conscious, it makes itself aware of the self. So like that's what basically happens. It said first we need to get the order right. Experience happens before identity. A sound appears, a sensation appears, a thought appears, and only afterward does the mind say that happened to me. And that's what's crazy because that's what I feel like. It's like when you're doing things and you're going through things, like you always throw a me in there. Oh, I did this. I felt like this. You always put me inside the story to become the story. Dang, man, you disconnected, Wally. I don't know what happened. I'm gonna have to kick you and you'll come back. But they say infants are conscious before they know who they are. Animals are conscious without personal narratives. People in altered states report vivid experience with no sense of I at all. So the self is not the owner of consciousness. It's something consciousness constructs. And like that's one of the things though that tripped me out too right there is that when you have those experiences and like you having the experience but you're not in the experience, you don't see yourself, you're not even consciously aware of self, you're almost just the observer of what's going on within the experience. And like that's what I started to do after diving in so much. I started to become and be the experience. I was just the observer, meaning that the me that the I, it didn't even exist. The only thing existed was the one that was watching. And I don't know what to call that thing. It was just the observer. It was just paying attention, watching what was happening with the experience. Dang, man, why I keep on saying that? They say they will need to connect. You got to connect your microphone and stuff before I can add you, Wally. Wally, you need to connect your microphone and stuff before I can add you. Look into octopus. They are so intelligent. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I'll be watching those stories, and then they say, okay, the brain's main job is not to find truth. It is to regulate, predict, and control. To that efficiency, it needs a reference point, a center. So the system creates one. The reference point becomes what you call me, not because it's real in some deep sense, but because it's useful. Now, this is the thing that I was saying about that last experience that I had. You got to connect your microphone, Wally. This is what I was saying about that last experience that I had. And it was showing me the difference between the nomad and the difference between God. Because I'm going to say it again. Once you start to see these things, you'll start to see each one of these things is nothing but an aspect of you. Even the nomad, if you go all the way up to the nomad, the thing that's just being everything, they're all different aspects of you. That's why we're even able to tap into them and have the experiences that we have. And like that's what happened with my last experience. It was showing me how the brain, the thing that became God. Because remember what happened. It was showing me the egg, and you feel me, and the egg began to form inside the female. And once the egg started to form, you know it made the human. It already had the infrastructure of the DNA to make what a human was. And then as it was forming, the brain came later. And then when the brain came into play, what did the brain do? The brain took over everything and it began to run everything. You remember that shit grew, it was crazy as hell because when like I'm watching this body grow inside this egg. And then when it got to the point to where the brain came in, the brain grew like some spider legs, bro. It was hella crazy. And it started running around. It started walking around and the body was just dragging. The body was limp. It was basically limp. And the brain was just carrying it around. And I'm like, what the hell? Like, what the fuck do that mean? And it's like kind of weird because you'll see certain things on the experience and it won't come to you till later. Like later on, reality will show it to you and then you'll be like, oh, okay, now I get it. And like that's basically what it's saying right there. It's a how the infants are conscious. It say people it say so the self is not the owner of consciousness. It's something consciousness constructs. Said the brain main job is to find truth. It's not to regulate, predict, or control. To that efficiency, it needs a reference point, a center. So the system creates one. The reference point becomes what you call me, not because it is real in some deep sense, because it is useful. So only because it's useful, it's almost like like I gotta save myself mechanism. Okay, how does the construct actually happens? It's going to explain the construct. Before thoughts, before personality, before language, the brain is already tracking the body, balance, muscle tension, heartbeat, breathing, pain, pressure. This creates a basic sense of location, not I am, just here. This is sometimes called the minimum self. No story, no identity, just experience centered somewhere. Wally got to connect this. I keep on telling you, got to connect your microphone or it ain't going to let me bring you in. Just say, now, stage 2, the agency. The system notices patterns. Movement leads to outcomes. Intention precedes action. So the links cause an effect. So it's like different links that happen that cause an effect for things to happen. Over time, the brain compresses this into shortcut. I did that. But here's the part people don't like hearing. The decision is often made before you're aware of it. Consciousness receives the result and narrates that after the fact. Agency is not observed, it's inferred. You feel me? It's kind of weird because that's what we do, bro. Like it explained it right there. Like the system notices patterns, which we try to pay attention to the patterns, and then movement leads to outcomes. Intention precedes action. So it links cause and effect, meaning this happened, so this gotta happen. Oh, you gotta no, you got I know you gotta Wally, for you to come in, it says right here, it says they will need to connect their mic cam before you can add them to the stream. So it's like I can't add you until you connect that. That's what it's saying right here on the thing. So you got to add that before I can do it. I need to get my glasses. I could barely see these words, but still I'm gonna do it. Let's see. And then memory stitching. It say this is where the self really forms. The brain connects moments across time. This happened earlier. This happened now. This might happen later. To hold it all together, the mind invents a persistent character, a story, a personality, a history. This is the narrative self. Oh, thanks, son. Ooh, he brought my glasses. I can see now. Man, you still got to connect that, Wally. It's not gonna let you in unless your what's name is connected. Dang, man, these motherfuckers ain't working right or something. I don't think they working right. I'm just saying, this is where the self really forms. The brain connects moments across time. This happened earlier. This is happening now. That might happen later. To hold it all together, the mind invents a persistent character, a story, a personality, a history. This is where the story begins, and you start to see that it's just a story happening. There is no you. Oh, Wally, because you have to turn on your camera. It says you have to turn on your camera and your microphone. You have to connect it. But when I bring you in, you don't have to have the camera on. You can turn the camera off, but you got to let it accept it and connect it. And see, it explains why different moments seem to belong to the same person, not because they do, but because the system needs continuity. The language locks in, grammar demands subject. I think, I feel, I choose. Language turns a process into a thing. Once named, the self feels solid, stable, central. But that solidarity is linguistic, not structural. You still ain't connected it. It still say you ain't connected your mic. It's still saying the same thing, Wally. Predictable identities make groups function. So the self becomes social software, not just something you believe, something you perform. And then this is where it like really gets into it, and it starts letting you know like why the self and the I is always kind of protecting itself. Emotion gives it weight. Threaten the body and fear arises. Threaten the identity and the same fear arises. Reputation, beliefs, future image. The brain treats attacks on the self as a survival threats. This that's why the ego feels fragile, not because it's important, but because it's useful. So we're using the ego in order to try to protect the self that we think we are, or the thing that we think we is, like basically like the our beliefs and different things like that. When somebody threatens them or comes at them, it's like we feel like we under attack, and now we got to protect the self. We got to protect the I, because the I does not want to die. It wants to keep living. It wants to keep existing. Now here's the revealing part. Certain states loosen the self: psychedelics, deep meditation, trauma, flow states, near death experience. People report the same thing again and again. Thoughts without a thinker, experience without ownership, awareness without a center, not unconsciousness, decentering, which tells us something crucial. The self is optional. The self is the thing that we like basically choose to be, almost as like we're choosing to be the self. Because I mean, if you think about it, you would choose to be the self because you made yourself over time. So you would actually, oh dang, you gotta, yeah, you got, I know, Wally, you gotta, I can't bring you on stage and let you allow it to use your camera and your microphone. So that's the one thing it's gonna ask you: use camera, use microphone. You gotta put allow. You don't have to turn your camera on once you come in, but you have to allow it to be able to use it. That's the only way it's gonna let you in. So let's see, dang man, there is no single you running the system. There is sensation, perception, thought, memory, emotion, prediction, and a useful fiction tying it together. The self is real the way money is real, optionally real, functionally real, but not what you actually are. It's just not, and it can't be. It's still saying the same thing, Wally. Say they will need to connect their microphone before you can add them to the stream. So you got to turn on your microphone. When this is seen clearly, nothing nothing mystical happens, but something practical does. Less defensiveness, less compulsive identity protection, more flexibility, less suffering, not because the self disappears, but because it is no longer mistaken for the thing that's aware. And once you see that, you don't lose yourself. You're not being trapped by it, which is crazy, bro. To like really when you put that in perspective, because I like that's one thing that I was saying. It's like you always trapping yourself within reality. Like that's what we do. We trap ourselves within our thoughts, within our beliefs, within the things that we think we understand. And when we run with that shit, bro, and we actually believe it and we accept it, and somebody come along and they try to tell you, oh, that ain't true, or it's like you're being under fire. Like any belief or any idea that we have that we accept to be a fact, when somebody say that ain't true, or it's like the body goes into that thing of trying to protect it. No, hold on, you feel me? It's survival mode. They're on, like, period, bro. And it's weird because it was something else that it was saying that like, you know, like when you, because you think it's a you, but it's not, you know, it's on sensation, perception, thought, memory, emotion, prediction, meaning you like you're predicting the future. You're living off your feelings. You're living off past. You
All
feel
right,
me? You're not like really in the present, but you're using all these other things to make the present what it is, and you're staying in these other places. What's up with it, Wally?
how are you? Can you hear me?
Yeah, I hear you clearly.
Okay.
I hear you clearly. You on duty, huh? Not on duty. Not on duty. Okay, now what's up with it? What's up with it? Piano key. No, Wally, what I was basically talking about is but we always been saying, like, there is no you. Like,
Yeah,
but
I mean, it's a pronoun, you know, it's a pronoun, and the pronoun runs a specific under a specific system. You know, you, I, he, she, it, they,
yeah.
we. These are words. These are pronouns. These are not entities of any kind. What happens is that they do become entities.
No, but this is the thing though, right? So the you is like yeah, I'm getting old in this one. Y'all watch me grow old in this one.
It's opinions of other units that have misinterpreted the information, and unfortunately, that becomes animated here. It becomes alive.
Yeah.
And then what happens is that via the mechanics of the body, that combination of the software becoming animated at a level where there are mechanics in here, which will be the analog, which will be the body moving around. Then other people reinforcing, you know, that you're you and I'm me and there are others and blah blah blah. That makes this is a mess in here.
It's like, but when you think about it, this is it. This is the happening. It
is the happening, but believe it or not, there is no one here doing anything. That is a ridiculous it's a hallucination.
Yeah,
to be honest with you.
but
it's an absolute hallucination. A superstition becoming real.
But don't you think it's like it's a dope hallucination though? Because you get to be the believer of the thing, of whatever it is you decided to be.
Even the believing happens by itself. That's the problem here. That every time that I try to get a position, it takes me out of the position. It makes me superpositional. It puts me in a superposition, and then from the superposition is when this is seen the way it is. This is a disaster here. When you get here, because you know it denies your existence in any possible form.
But look, this is the way I was looking at it though, Wally. That tripped me out is this is everything everywhere happening at the same time.
Exactly, and that's it. And that's it. There's nothing beyond that. That's it. That there's nothing beyond anything beyond that is a delusion.
Yeah, because I ain't gonna lie, I'll be looking at stuff like I'll be looking at stuff, and this the first thing I say is like I'm looking at shootings, I'm looking at all these things happening. I'm going, that's not supposed to happen. Like, why would they do that? Why is this person doing that?
If you really look at all this very bizarre behavior, it's just units that have identified themselves with the body. And once you identify yourself with the body, you are one, but you're not the one, because everything is one. But that's it. In that one, there could be another one which will be the agent of the agency of the. It's like the monad will be the agency, and then whatever belief there's out there believing that the monad has been owned by another frequency, then that becomes the agent. It's an agency and agent game in here. And
No, that's because
they're not even the agents are the bodies, man. This you are nowhere. It doesn't matter where you go.
so the agency is what is the idea or the belief.
The agency will be the idea, and then the agent will be the entity that has formed itself to own that idea.
Yeah.
The idealist.
But it's crazy because that idea can live amongst a lot of people though at one time. That's the wild part.
What happens is that, oh my God, how can I put this together? Look, if we were bodies by themselves without any identification, we would not be working for a living. We will be lasting easily centuries in here. We would not be getting sick. We would not be making mistakes. What happens is that I don't know how we got here, man, but somewhere down the line, one of these entities or one of these fields of information became aware of itself as something apart from everything else.
Why is this thing? I know how we got here. I know exactly how we got here.
Well, you know, if you go through the historical records, you got to look at the first killing, which was, you know, Cain killing Abel, or whatever.
That's what they say. That's what they say. But I don't know if I don't.
And then no. If you go beyond that backwards, then you get to the funny story that I call, you know, that God left the Garden of Eden to go somewhere, and then he left Adam and Eve in front of a tree that have apples, and then he told them don't eat from the apple. And then when he comes back, you know, he gotta deal with the fact that these two guys are lying, and they're blaming an animal, a snake.
Yeah, exactly.
And then you know what? Believe it or not, this is how all this history here has come from. This comes from there. So everything comes from. It's like an apocrypha. It's a lie that. Done so many times.
That it's been told so many times, but
exactly.
It sounds prehistoric to me nowadays. Now that I listen to that story, it sounds prehistoric. It doesn't make sense because now you're going, okay, what you're telling me is the snakes could talk back then. Basically, this is what they say.
Not only that, you're creating time too, personal time, which is even worse than that, because time. To the understandings in here, time is flux. So there's no such a thing as time. Time is just flux. Things are fluxing. It's mechanics being manipulated by kinetic forces and potential forces manipulating the kinetic forces, and that's how it is.
But do you think anybody here can really actually explain what this is that's happening?
No, that would be even when I'm talking. I should clarify before I am going to speak that, you know, whatever words apparently are coming out of the mouth of this human here, that this cannot possibly know what he's talking about.
Exactly.
It's just not at a personal level. Remember the personal thing. Once you get into the personal, now you're a specialty. Now you're special. A specialty. When you look at it deeper, it means a tool. So that means the body is utilizing a tool in order to get, you know, find its way around the program. Or whatever.
Exactly. And the
so in other words, the me is like a tool that the body uses in order to accomplish what it is that it has to be accomplished via efficiency, because everything here is about efficiency. It's about saving, it's about getting things done in the laziest way. Because the bodies don't like to work, man. The bodies don't like, and I'm leaving this, man. You know, I'm leaving this frequency, and I'm going like, wow. So I understand. I mean, because you know, this body is vibrating so fast that it doesn't make sense to move. And when I get into that non-motion thing, it's when I see everything else. But then,
I
you know, the
the
body
body
has
don't
to
like to
move.
work. The body just like to eat and sleep.
The
That's it.
bodies like to eat. They like to relax, and they like to groom themselves so they could do those two forever here.
But it seems like the mind constantly wants to expand.
The mind.
It's like it's on this thing that it's
I'm
constantly
glad that,
think it's growing.
okay, I'm glad that you mentioned the mind, because the mind in the story cannot be seen by others. It can only be seen by you. So that will be the me. You wanna put yourself somewhere, so you're the mind. So you're inside the body, and the body can see you, but nobody else can see you. They can just see the body.
Yeah.
You see what I mean? And then from there, what you do is that, if you believe what the others are saying, then you messed up in here. Then you believe that there are other galaxies. Then you believe that there are 8 planets or 9 planets, or that there's a Van Allen belt out there, and that that man went to the moon and all that. All that stuff happened, but it didn't happen to anybody. Nobody went to the
But it's
moon.
weird. It's
Nobody
weird
went to the
because
moon. Bodies that were astronauts in the story went to the moon.
but when you think about it, Wally, right? Like let's say back in the days, in the prehistoric days of when we first started to talk, that's what we did. We told stories. We came up with stories of how we got here.
Everything. In order for understanding to come into any form, a story has to be told in some way.
Yeah, in some way.
A story is a recording of actual activity that it better be recorded, otherwise it cannot be remembered. And that's why we got the tech that we have now, because if you really look at a human being cannot remember anything that it does in about 20 seconds after it does it.
Yeah.
And the body is able to remember everything, but not the programming that is inside.
See, this is the thing though, Wally. I always felt like it was something out there that was recording everything everybody is doing.
It's creepy. There is something that is recording, and what's recording everything is what's actually reality. And then it's not you, it's not the body, it's not others. It's indescribable. And then what happens is that when we do psychedelics, we see this, and then we're like, what is this, man?
Yeah,
because I remember many psychedelic trips would always begin with the overwhelming feeling that I was being watched. And then from there, I feel like, who's watching me? I said, like, something is watching the body, and that's what reality is. Because before I thought I was being watched, and then I went crazy for like weeks. I was like, there's something really big that is watching us. It's so big that we cannot even see it. That's how big it is. And then, you start looking around and you realize it's the whole environment that the body is looking at.
Hey, you know what's crazy, Wally? Like, I used to think that it was something that was just watching the body, but that something is watching everything. Cause like I had an experience one time to where it was something I seen on the floor, and like eyes popped around. Eyes was all on the walls. Eyes was everywhere. And like my head just became one giant eye. It was like a giant eye. And I looked at that thing on the floor. And when I looked at it, every eye looked at it. So it was like I could look at that thing from every angle. And I can, like, that thing could be a million different things, an infinite amount of things to me from the way that I was looking at it. Infinitely.
Yeah. It's horrifying, man, and things here are getting more challenging, and it's like ridiculous, man. It's like I have to make big decisions. I have to make these huge decisions have to be made, because whatever is in here doesn't want to move, and then motion has to happen. It wants to move, but somewhere else. When the body stops moving, things continue to appear to be moving, and then in those things that are continuing to be moving, but the body is out, that's where you get into the other world that you call dreams in here and all that stuff. And it's unbelievable, because It is so much better there than here. There is no problems like here. Like people got to go to work, and if they do, it's kind of weird, because you go to work and it's not the same because especially when you see the body that is constantly sleeping. Because I have like two screens. I have a screen that looks at the body here, and a screen that
Powers
is
and principalities.
and a screen that is all in whatever dream or nightmare it is.
Yeah.
And it's
but I think we all, like, as we go through experience, we get the we kind of, I think we choose our experience. I want to say that, but then I don't even want to believe that, because I think it's almost like how dominoes fall. Like if the dominoes is already set up, and when you push them, they're gonna fall the way they were set up.
most of the things. Yeah, most of the things that happen are happening because of the way the information has been processed before. So if the information has been processed from a two-dimensional system, so you're going to think you are a human that is connected to the stars or something like that, which is what happened here.
But that's part of the story.
That's when it gets ugly. That's when it gets ugly, when it begins to cancel you. No. You could use that, but this is it right here. This is how it's happening. This is in the one, and then the one is split down to that other one, because it's like two ones. It's a one that is everything, and there is a one that is like an individual that can interact with everything.
Look, Let There Be Light said, I had a near-death experience when drowning at age 8. I went straight into the AK life review to a few seconds before death. Then I rebooted as a lifeguard rescued me. We are cosmic supercomputers. Hey, you know what's crazy?
That's a good one right there.
Yeah, that's another thing. Like, when you have that death experience, right? And then all of a sudden it's like you think it's death, but it's not. It's like you reboot it right back into the computer. Some type of way.
Yeah.
It could be like as a lifeguard saving. It can be so many different things, like dang, me dying by the him in the bathroom and then being put back in, like my other body kept going, and it was like, oh shit, I made this one to go longer. And somebody was asking me that though, Wally. They was asking me like, what do I think happens like at death?
This is death here.
That
this year. And then the afterlife is what, and then the after, and then the this is either death or is the afterlife already. It's one of the two, and it makes sense especially when you go in any type of a psychedelic experience. I mean, and the strange thing is that it feels better than when you thought you were alive. It's like ecstasy. It's like being in never-ending ecstasy.
Yeah.
And because I question a lot, it's like, how am I dead? So if I'm dead, why is the body moving around? It says because the body now is alive for real. It has gone into some mechanical structures. And then once you get to the mechanics, then you see that the kinetics are the ones that make the mechanics here work. And then the kinetics are created by the potential. It's potential energy, kinetic energy, and mechanical. And then the body can move in here. Move around.
Wow, because I feel like once the body come in, and then I don't even think it's the body. The story doesn't want to die.
You're right. You're right. There's not even a body. It's an appearance. It's an emergence. I call it an emergence. It's an emergence because something that emerges is noticed, and then that emergence gets noticed by others, by other units, and then in that same emergence, you become aware of yourself, and then it's an emergence. It's an appearance of a body doing things in here, and then nothing can exist unless a body is around. There's no way anything can exist right now where you are, whatever studio you are. Wherever else your family members are, unless they constantly coming in to check on you, they are in superposition. And then you're in a position, which is that position.
Yeah.
And that's not even you, that's the body. And that's not even, it's an appearance.
But that's the thing, Wally. I think the story don't want to die. I think the story is the one thing
The
that
story,
tries to
the
live
story,
on.
the stories never die. What dies is the energies that come in here and believe that they're the bodies, and then what they do is that let's say that the bodies automatically last 5,000 years by not having any identifications. That they could last 5,000 years. The second you go against that because you think you're somebody inside the body, that 5,000 years shrinks all the way to probably 80 or 70 or 50 years.
Yeah, it seems like it shrinks as you live the story longer and longer, as you begin to become the story.
Not,
But
not
it's
that,
like
not that
weird
it-
because if you have you noticed this though, right? We don't want to become the story that we are. Why do we always have the thing of trying to be the best story that we heard over time? The story that I heard Nikola Tesla living is the story I want to be. And Piano Key, I see you keep on typing. You better stop playing and come
do,
into the chat. You
do
typing
you
all these
really?
all these words. You better come in here.
Well, the Nicholas Tesla story is interesting. And I've been there in psychedelic experiences. It's kind of hard to get at a normal level here on because the body is not. I don't know. The body just goes. This body goes straight into dreams and nightmares. And there's a dream about Nicholas Tesla, so he goes into it. But it doesn't happen often. It doesn't happen that often. It just it gives the information.
All right.
You could the body can tap into the frequency in the story. It's funny. Okay, so this is an appearance of a story of a body here doing things. That kind of
Yeah.
makes a lot of sense.
So okay. So do you think that it's a problem that we play into these stories, like whether we play into the God
I mean,
story,
look
the
at
alien
look at the
story?
look at the world. Look at where the world is. Look at what's going
Yeah.
on. Look at what's going on. Look at what's going on with ICE. Look at what's going on with the Epstein file. Look at what's going on with Puff Daddy. All those things. None of these stories have a freaking thing to do with the body's food, shelter, and grooming. But if you
Yeah.
if you switch from here because you want to go into you want to know what Puff Daddy is doing, and then you really begin to reinforce it to a level that you want to be close to Puff Daddy or something like that. Or now you're in that program because and then everything is real because all it needs is to be reinforced via believability.
Hey, okay,
Because
this is something that I was tripping off of earlier. Like when you watch people that's in the stream media, like the good rappers, the good singers, the good actors, they're basically people that can sell a good story.
those are actually poets
Yeah. Hey,
in the
basically,
story. It's
because
poetry.
you don't want nobody that can't sell a good story that can make the story come to life like we
I
doing
mean,
right now.
yeah, what the others are doing is the same thing corporations are doing with their bodies. It's about it's about the body getting influence or not being influenced enough, so it restrains whatever is coming because the body is the ultimate power here. The body is the control of anything here. It either gets influenced or it gets forced to restrain whatever stimulus comes in because the stimulus is going to come and then the body's either going to like it or not,
Yeah.
and that's about it. And then accepting oh my god, being open to the fact that all this is happening by itself, that's the tough one.
Nah, you can't. No, but that's the hardest part
That's
because
the hard, that's the tough one.
nobody wants to feel like they're being controlled by something else, but you are. No matter, you don't have to believe it. You
The
speak of
body,
your thought.
the body gets influenced or gets or it doesn't get influenced enough, you know.
Yeah.
And then what happens is that by not influencing you restrain whatever it is. It's like you speak to a lot of people, they don't want to do psychedelics. Because why? Because they have heard other people talking about psychedelics and they have had probably bad experiences. So when the psychedelic experience comes into the story, they say, no way, no, I'm not doing that. No, no. So, they immediately restraining that. And then they at the second that you restrain the psychedelic possibility, now you are influencing continuing living the way you were living. It's either one or the one. If one happens, the other one is also there, but it goes like at a different level. It's like a negative. It's like a 0 and a 1. It's an algorithm.
It's weird because like whenever I talk to like close ones about psychedelics, I had one person tell me psychedelics should be banned. You feel me? Because you have
he must have had a horrible trip. He must have had a horrible trip.
That's what I thought.
The only time that that thought actually crossed my mind here, talking generally, was when I almost, when I overdosed on DXM. I mean, because I remember when I was in the shower and I'm about to call 911 because I couldn't breathe anymore. And then I'm in the shower. I have no idea what I'm doing in the shower. And then all of a sudden I see the body putting itself up and putting the water really cold. And I'm going, what's going on in here? And then the phone is about to call 911. You know what the body did with the phone? He threw it to the living room. And that's when something went in here. I was like, okay, the jig is up. What was that about? And it was like, I was like, okay, the body's about to go down. I said, okay, that's not going to help. Merlin is going to help, and Merlin is going to come, and it's going to get the unit back into place. And then by the time that all this happened, then you're going to know who got you there.
Yeah.
Because, because I had no idea. I had to go to the shower and put the water cold and let it run on the heart for 30 minutes and flood my apartment. I have no clue. When I came back from that, the words couldn't stop coming in. It said, do you actually believe as anything that you knew this information? And I was like, wow, I was humble. I was like, no. Yeah. What happened? It was that the body defended itself from the hardware of the unit defended itself from the software of the unit, because the software of the unit was going to bring the unit into final levels of function. Yeah.
No, he can't do nothing. He still ain't even cleaned up. Have you been in his room?
Yeah. Piano Key had to experience something like that.
I did actually, and I was DXM. I think I might be allergic to it. So you just said Merlin would save you. Is that Merlin? Are you saying Merlin?
What happens is that there were a lot of frequencies in here already dealing with magical things at a level that because I practiced magic before and nothing worked, and then I realized now everything is working magic wise, but I'm not here. So that was why it wasn't working, because I really thought that I could, do lunar magic and solar magic and all that the way, and then now I'm getting these things through the heels of the body, through the hands of the body. The lunar mancy comes to the hands of the body, and then the heliomancy, which is from the sun, comes through the heels of the body. And these things are registering in here, and then I'm going like, wow, no wonder. So how come these other people claim they're lying? They told me they're lying. They just lying. It's like the UFO story. Everybody's lying about the UFOs. It's us.
Yeah.
The UFO invasion, the alien invasion is it's a shift here. It's the shift in the awareness of what we think we're doing in here. It's gonna shift. And it's funny because the human being has about 2.5 years left here till this changes full on. Meaning that one day we're going to wake up in the morning and we're going to realize, my God, I've never been here. All this was happening by itself. And then they're going to have to deal with that. And then, cognitive dissonance is going to be it, because you're either going to influence that story or you're going to restrain it. Here, there was a lot of restraining, a lot of resistance to it, but something else was stronger. And then the heart of the unit was like swollen, receiving electromagnetic energy coming from star systems, and I'm going like, my God, I'm crazy. I have lost it.
Don't.
And then I'm going like,
I feel like, Wally, I feel like we create a lot of the things here that everybody can't see. Like whether it's Bigfoot, whether it's the gods or whatever. I think we create a lot of that stuff. And then
yeah, I mean,
once all of us
Bigfoot,
believe, it comes to life.
Bigfoot, yeah, Bigfoot is very real, but he's blurry. Every time you see Bigfoot, he's just going to be blurry. You're never going to see a clear Bigfoot. That would be a lie. And then the aliens are only going to exist inside camera videos, inside testimonials of people. You're never going to see the aliens, so you're only going to see in the camera. Oh my God, look at that. You know, I'm telling you, man, they're delusional. They're having delusions. They're having psychedelic experiences that are happening naturally. And then they don't know how to put that together in here.
Which is crazy, right? Because it makes sense. Because if you watch a person that watched something, let's say like Dragon Ball Z or anime, and then they begin to dress up like the anime, and they're always walking around like they're part of the anime. It's the same
man.
thing.
When I was a kid, I thought I was Spider-Man for like a couple of weeks.
Yeah.
You know, the Spider-Man story influenced me enough to become curious. And then, you know, you begin to see the impossibilities. The second you try to climb a wall and you see that you cannot climb a wall, but then you begin to imagine what it will be like.
But Wally, all right, look, okay. That person that's over there that's acting out that anime, even that person, that homeless person that you see talking to themselves, what makes their experience realer than the one that we have it?
Is the same
what
energy
makes ours realer than theirs?
No, it's the same energy that is inside of you looking at a homeless person. It's the same energy that is inside the homeless person, making the separation happen. So you think you're you and you think that person is homeless, and then you begin to, what happens is that automatically you begin to feel relief. Oh my God, that I'm not that guy. You know, look at him. Imagine what he will go through. And then what happens is that whatever is in here is seeing all this as it is. And he notices that because he tells me the same energy that is inside the body now, vibrating at the level that it is the same energy that is inside that homeless. But that homeless program has been sabotaged by opinions of other people, and he believes that he's really homeless. You know, because I could go into homelessness. You know, I could go into that, and you know, I will be fine. I will be fine. I will be dealing. You know, the body will be following the simple things: food, shelter, grooming. And then what happens is that because of the pressure of the homeless and the other people telling you you're homeless, and then you're in a shelter, and everybody believes they're in a shelter, that makes things even worse. So you know, I will be probably the most calm homeless person anywhere, because I will be sleeping all the time. And every time you see me, you're either going to see me eat, you're going to see me relaxing on a bed, or you're going to see me taking a shower. You're not going to see me anywhere else.
But every time I see you, I'm wanting to give you something because I feel like you're homeless.
And you know, it's crazy because I see them asking for money. I see them asking for money, and you know what the program here does? It says, "Do not reinforce unless you want to."
Yeah.
If you reinforce it, then you're making him believe he's homeless. Then you're gonna be there for like a second, and then you're gonna realize, my God, we just gave this guy $3, and then the body needs to eat, and then he has no money, and now he has to go home to get the wallet because he forgot it. Well, those $3 we could have bought something. Then you know, this is what happens here.
You know, but you know what's crazy though, Wally? The one thing that I figured out about a lot of homeless people, they be more consciously aware than the people that's walking around working.
Oh, those people be talking wisdom.
Yeah,
those people be talking some wisdom, and taxi drivers too, and bartenders too.
Oh,
they're like God,
I was talking to this homeless guy the other day. He was probably like 70 years old. I'm telling you, he smelled like urine. The urine was so strong, it smelled like pneumonia. But I had to, you know, I still, you know, sat there and had to, and we talked for like my whole 30-minute break. We talked the whole time, and he was just sharing so many different things with me that I could barely take it all in. I'm like going, bro, I'm having a better conversation with you than I have with somebody that like a supervisor or
You know, who are also very interesting young kids, but unfortunately,
oh
most of them will be with their parents, so you can't. But all you got to do is listen, because you can't be going just
yeah
talking to kids, because they're gonna think you freaking pedophile or something. So, but you listen to them talking, and then you listen to their parents saying, "No, that's not the way it is," and then the way the kid said it is the way it is, and then you go.
yeah
All I do is I just walk out, and then I feel the registration in the body, because this is ridiculous here. It's ridiculous. I mean, it's like I cannot sometimes. This is why sometimes I wear sunglasses. So I when I'm walking outside, my eyes are closed, because I don't want to deal with anything there. I don't want to deal with anything in base 3, which is what I call when the body goes out from the apartment, it goes into the
yeah
world. I don't want to deal with anything. I just, because it's
it's wild.
ridiculous, man. It's
It's
ridiculous.
wild because like where I'm at now, it seems like I can talk to anybody. It don't matter what age they are. Like I can talk to and have a conversation with anybody. And like I'm more of still a speaker, but I'm more of a listener. Because when you see somebody that's like you said, you talk to these young kids, they creating their own understanding because they see things differently. They're not following the so-called rules that we have. So they don't have all the blockages that we have.
When they're like 3 or 4 years, they have been kind of. There's not that much level of adulteration there yet, but the adulteration takes place. The adulteration is already there. They already think they're the sons or the daughters or my father and my mother. I mean, the levels of separation is ridiculous, man.
Yeah, because we program them. We gotta program them to be all those things. We don't as we go, because that's what was done to us.
Yeah, I mean, this is it, man. What I'm noticing over here is that things are becoming boring. Everything is like more boring now than it was before. And then, I gotta be careful, because, I can't be traveling all over the world every time boredom appears, I can't be like calling, can you book me up on a flight? I want to get out of New York. No, I can't. I'd be broke. The body would be broke like crazy because the meat can't stand. The meat can't stand, cooking and getting food and then taking a shower so it could relax and eat again forever. The meat can't handle that. The meat wants to go outside and protest with, against ICE or pro ICE. He wants to go to the movie theaters. He wants to have girlfriends. He wants to go to the gym and get pumped and take his shirt off in the gym and say, I'm the biggest dude here. The meat wants to be noticed.
Want to be noticed. So what you think about that though? Did you hear that? Oh wait, hold on. Let me read this from Let There Be Light. He said, one of my friends used to say, all people who are asleep are sheep. I said, be careful. Billions of people choose to be here and get ticket before reincarnation. Do not wake up. I love the slumber. A lot of people choose it. They choose. Well, everybody. You got to understand, bro. Everybody is choosing their own way. Despite
no. That is the energy that is the way the information has been processed, and then the energy's goal here is to live through lifetimes forever. That's the purpose of the energy that is inside the body. It wants to continue coming over here, believing it's a human, and he wants to go through lifetimes forever. What happened here is that collapsed. That was seen. And then when he was seen, I was like, wow. So what do you mean this is the third time you're here? It will be the last unless you want to come back. And then he showed me the historical records, 0. Nobody wants to come back here because you're still gonna come back to work, but unless the world goes into universal abundance. And then when I asked, when is universal abundance gonna come into the story? It's like in 800 years in your programming. In 800 years, I said, no, I don't want to be here.
But that's crazy, Wally, because that's the Wally that you are right now. But
no, that's the body. The body was looking at offers that were being given. from the stars.
Yeah.
As clear as I'm looking at you and you looking at me. I was in I think I was in DXM a couple of times, and he offered me, do you want to be a chess grandmaster in the next life? Do you want to be the first quadrillionaire? Because there will be, you will be the first person with $1 quadrillion. And I'm going like, no, I want to be out of here. I want to be somewhere where work doesn't exist. Labor.
But don't you think that's what the body would want to do? This is the body speaking. It's not the infinite. It's not Wally the Wizard. This is the body saying all these different things, because the body know that it only lasts so long. But the infinite aspect of you is forever. It never dies.
But the thing is that the body can last perennially here. The body doesn't have to last what the story wants you to believe you're supposed to last here, which is 80 something years, maybe 100, and then you will look like a prune. You will look like a raisin. You'll be all wrinkled. No, you could hit 100 looking this way. You could hit 200 looking this way too. You could hit 300s looking this way too.
I think we live forever. I think this body right here lives forever.
The energy, whatever is reckoning things in here, whatever is calculating anything, it is forever. It's permanent. It never goes away.
Hey, because Wally, when I dove in on shrooms that one time, it showed me coming back here again and again and again, because it was like I was this infinite being that like, I hate to even say it because it sounds crazy. I was this infinite being that created reality. And to me, I was like, dang, okay, since the people think they're suffering, I need to go in and I need to keep living the life with them over and over and over again.
Mm-hmm. I mean, you could come back here in any way. According to the records, nobody wants to come back here because it's just going to be, unless the world is in a universal abundance state, no universal scarcity. Universal abundance, you don't need to work. In universal abundance world, if you need a car, you don't need to buy a car. There will be a car on the street available. Of course, if you could drive it, it's okay. People will leave cars on the street for you because they no longer need them anymore. And you could go to a supermarket in one car and come back from the supermarket in another car. That's universal abundance. And the same thing with airplanes, and the same thing with ships, and the same thing with anything. But what are we supposed to do when everything is already? Well, you learn more about technology and about artificial intelligence. So the bodies could last millions of years here without aging. But it's
exactly what you said. Once you put you in the story, you start to become the story, or try to act out as the story that is doing this thing, which the story is already its own thing, being. Yeah. It's already being everything.
Being is everything there is. And that includes the story that you think you hear. That goes in being. Being is everything there is.
That's what scared me about like the gods that we even believe in. That's what throws me off about them, because for them to exist, we have to believe that they are there. But
there has to be a body somewhere to reinforce that idea.
Yeah, exactly.
The gods only exist if there are bodies around that are willing to reinforce that frequency. Because it's the same thing that happened here with Merlin. I was with the Merlin thing, and whatever happened in here happened unwillingly. I wasn't looking because, when I looked at it from the 2D level, I said, man, reaching this wizard status is going to be impossible. So let's get rid of you then. So we could get there immediately. And I was like, what do you mean? It's just like, am I going to die physically? The body's not going to die. What's going to die is what's inside of it, believing that it's the body.
And if the body, the thing that you are in there always accepts that it is the body. Like, even when I got to the point to where I knew that I wasn't the body, I still had to play as the body on the day.
Not here. That's not happening here, but it could happen because everybody's programs are different.
Yeah.
You know, I have a very lonely program. In my program, I'm always by myself. There is a resistance to stay around others for too long. I mean, unless they're talking about aliens or non-duality. That's the only way I would stay around. And then who knows about non-duality? Nobody. But if you're gonna talk, you could take it down to psychedelics, because you know psychedelics is up there with non-duality and stuff like that, and
Yes.
spiritual.
Yeah.
If you're gonna be talking like that, yeah, I'll be around you for a while. But then you know, I'll probably be quiet. I won't be telling you, you know, those are just stories. You know, that's not really happening to anybody. You know, the bodies is reaching those
I ain't
frequencies.
gonna lie. I try to talk football though, Wally. I try. I'll be trying.
Oh, sports here are gone, man. That's one of the first. That was one of the. That was one of the first clues that I noticed here, because I was a sport fanatic. I used to gamble in sports, and everything stopped in one day. There was no longer any motivation to bet. I was a Patriots fan. I was a Knicks fan. I was a Chicago Bull fan. I stopped all that. I was a Yankee fan. I started looking at that, and I started seeing how the sports create separation via competition and comparing constantly. It never stops. And I just, whatever the heck took over here, it began to reject that frequency.
It's like I can talk about sports because I know who the teams are, but I don't know none of the players on the teams. I don't know who winning. I don't know anything about sports too much no more. Like I just watch highlights, but I just know enough of everything in order so I can be able to have a conversation with people if that's what they're talking about. That's about it.
I try not to get too involved, because you know, the second they start talking, like things are happening to them, bro. There is something in here that goes. Something in here goes. Okay, it's time to go. And I'm going like, what do you mean? It's time to go, man. I be walking out on people, man, talking, and they talking to themselves. I said, yo, I said, like, see you next week.
No, that's the thing though. I just know enough in order to have that conversation with them of whatever they're talking about. And then I like to see their excitement behind what they are talking about. That's what I have
too many problems. I have too many problems to deal with when I come into the house. You know, this body here has too much shit happening when the door closes and we're no longer outside. We're now in the apartment, because I got to deal with the paranormal now. And then the paranormal is hidden while I'm outside, unless I let it out.
No.
And I'm not gonna let it out there, because they're gonna think I'm crazy, or I'm sick, or they're gonna call paramedics on me, because I'm not gonna be moving.
I hide it now, Wally.
Huh?
I hide it now. I see the shadows. I see the certain entities popping in and out of real. I hide them. I make it seem like they're not there no more.
Oh my God! Look,
I don't want to feel like I'm crazy.
Look! All the interstellar characters that I have, they want to meet the ones in the story here.
Yeah,
us, the people that believe they're real, and I'm going like, that's impossible. I can't do that. So you know I told you about Archibald X. I know I told you about Dasher and Meredith, but you are open enough for this. You know, even if you lie,
that's true. Like that, we lie.
You open enough because you have gone through similar experiences with other characters that, you know, you see that little Asian girl that you were, and then you were here. So you have already gone deep enough. So, you know, but I cannot go around and introduce, you know, go to the supermarket, get something, but that's not what Archibald X thinks. I can't tell nobody. It's Archibald X. That's another character that is taking over Wally right now. So he's going to do the transaction. I can't just talk to people like that. They're gonna think I'm freak. They're gonna immediately incarcerate me.
But that's the thing, right? Like, I think what it is when you talk to them, you have to talk to them. Okay. When you talk to them, you have to talk to them with their understanding.
Oh my God! I remember when I had like 20 characters. I take you back that far, 20 characters, because it's like 158 characters now. And I know all their names. But I remember when I had 20 characters that they wanted to meet the members in the gym that I went to, you know, because I work in a gym also. And I said, I can't do that. That's impossible. First of all, you guys are invisible here. And it was like, but you could tell them about us, and then the body can do the form, and they could see it. It's like channeling. And I was like, you know what? I'm not going to be going through this. This is very embarrassing.
They're trying to get you in the straight jacket.
Come on, man. It's crazy. It's absolute insanity, man. You know? And then one of them is a cat that is like 17 feet tall, Dasher. How am I going to introduce that type of character in a world that believe this is fantasy?
Hey, you know it's weird. Right here, let there be light. He said, think the world governments know how this works. We are souls in the body that are having a temporary experience, so they lock us down. No, if you pay attention, it's that too. But if you pay attention, everything that is happening, the way the government is, the way the president is, the way our structure is built is a reflection of us. The way that thing works is the same way our body and our mind works. This is the thing that I think we're not seeing, is our mind works the same way that the government is structured. The United States is structured. That's our mind structure right there.
Yeah, you got to understand that the government is created from within the body. Whatever you are, that I'm looking at you now, and whatever I'm looking at out there, and whatever I'm looking at around this way and that way, it doesn't matter where I look. That's coming from within the unit. The unit is creating this. And then you could see it easily. If you don't want to see this anymore, you got to put the body, tell the body, go to sleep. Body goes to sleep. And it's like I told you before, like I asked you, where do you go when the body decides to close its eyes and relax for the rest of the day? Where in the world do you go?
I don't know where
do you go? The body makes you disappear.
Yeah, I don't know where
you disappear. You no longer exist, and then you exist when the body opens its eyes again. And it's the body. It's not you.
Yeah,
it's
weird because every structure of our government, of the United States or any country, is this, like, you see it as a reflection as the structure of the body, because like how we have police, and then we have certain things in our body that fight off other things that are doing chaotic stuff within our body, but it still happens, like from pimples, from diseases, and different things like that. Our whole structure, the whole structure of our planet is the same structure of our body and our mind. That's all it is. And it's like once you see it,
what's really disturbing?
Yeah,
that is as far as the eyes can see. That's
exactly.
That's the universe right there. As far as the eyes of the bodies can see is the universe. There's nothing beyond anything here, nothing before anything.
Yeah, but the mind gonna take you anywhere you want to go.
Because you gotta. I mean, how do blind people deal with this level of information? How do deaf people deal with this level of information? You see, I've been there. They believe what the ones that can see are telling them. And then you blind, and then you believing, oh, the sky is blue. Forget it. You destroy everything for the blind person. So the sky is just blue. Sometimes it's like gray. Sometimes it's red. And it was the sky is something that could change colors. Yeah, and then it could be cold, it could be hot, it could be warm, it could be cool. Wow, that sounds like something unbelievable. That sounds like something unbelievable, that the description that you're giving me is not enough.
Yeah.
Because seriously, come on, man. And then, you got to deal with the fact that, at this level, man, here, man, it's like I have seen how there's this detachment from, I still appear like I'm living on Earth, but I am not in the story. I'm sorry, I'm not. I'm constantly looking for information and dealing with information that apparently is coming from star systems that I cannot see from here.
Yeah, but still, like, I think as the body now, I'm like more of the observer. You feel me? I don't try to stop the body from doing whatever it do unless it get chaotic and it start to do something that it's not supposed to do, or I feel like it's not supposed to do. Other than that, I let the body do what it go and do what you want. When my body goes to work, Wally, I am not even there. It's like the work go by so fast because I'm not there. The body is there.
That's funny. That's funny. And then what knows that's the horrifying part of it. What knows, because you can't find it. What knows all this information cannot be found.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter where you go in the body. It's nowhere because the body got its own eyes, it got its own nose, its ears. You're nowhere in there. You're not in its intestines. You're not in its lungs. You're not in, so it's insane because and then everything is recorded because you remember the whole day at work. You remember what happened.
Yeah.
And then
I come in when they get to talking to people. When the body starts to talking to people, that's when I like kind of pop in and I do the talking. But when it's working and it's driving, I'm somewhere else the whole time.
This one here responds. This one here responds to others. It never engages it never starts conversations. I mean, hi and bye. That's about it.
By chance, huh? Hi and bye. Nah, you know why I like to have conversations with people is because I like to see a different thought outside of mine. You feel me? Yeah. So I can make sure that I'm not fucking tripping. Okay, I don't want to because I'm tripping all the time. Yeah. So I have to listen to other people to go, okay, you ain't tripping. You feel me?
No, you know what you're doing. 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 What you're doing is that you're taking a break. You're taking a break from what this is. That happens here. That happens here.
I have to, because when I talk to people, they talking about work. You feel me? They talking about all the usual things that you should be doing. You feel me? And they trying to prioritize it to the fact that they're making it an everyday thing. Now, this is my plan. This is what I'm be in the future. This is what I'm, and it's like. So
once they start getting into the future and the past, that's when the voice comes in here and say, okay, it's time to go.
No, not me. Not me. I want to hear their future. I'm gonna tell you again. I want to hear their future.
The reason I don't stay there is because if they say something and I hear it, then I leave it. And then when I leave it at the level of that information being processed. And then that's how I start suffering. And I go like, God, mercy. I'm suffering because I just decided to, man, that's it. I'm done talking to people here like this.
Okay, now I understand that. That's the one thing that I said. I said, when I leave people, what they have, I leave with them. I don't take it with me and always make it a part of me, which sometimes we do. No, I leave it with them, especially if it's some kind of chaos.
What happens is that what the person tells you is also you appearing as another unit.
Yes.
Making believe that these two of you units talking and it's crazy because
but you can't, Wally, we will be in straitjackets if we go around telling everybody that. They is not. That's something that is hard to accept.
Nobody wants to hear this information, man. Listen, when I go to the gym, I suffer because I see how happy everybody is. I see how happy and how comfortable they feel, and I'm going like, oh my God. No wonder they're like this. Is because they have no clue that they're nowhere to be found. If they get to this information, then you will see them. They will jump up the windows of the gym.
Because a lot of people like that I talk to, I tell them about the channel, and then once they come in the channel and they start listening, and I see them next time, they say, "Man, I have no idea what y'all was talking about," and I'm just going, "Damn!" like I didn't understand nothing y'all was talking about, nothing, not a bit of it. Not a bit of it. Then you got other people that be like, I understand, but I'm not, psychedelics, psychedelics is like a crazy conversation. Then you got ones that go, I want to try that. I have to.
Those are my. That's my people. That's my tribe.
Look, psychedelics is like the beginning of getting to this level.
Yeah.
And if you don't go through that, you either gonna have a traumatic experience or you're gonna get it a minute before you die. Because what we're talking about here is gonna be shown to the bodies in about a minute or two before the bodies go. You're gonna see it. You're gonna go, oh my goodness, Booker was right. It's all bullshit. It's all bullshit. It doesn't matter where you go. It's all BS. Everywhere you go is, oh my goodness, nothing has any significance, no meaning, and then you notice it, and then, oh my goodness, oh, and then you have no idea what comes after death, which is what scares people. Death doesn't scare people, it's that they don't know what comes after it. And nothing comes after it because it's right here. You know?
I think it's the different ideas that we put out of what comes after death or with death. Heaven and hell. That's the only two things that we didn't put out there. Heaven
if you
and
want
hell.
to, if you want to entertain that story, then this is hell here, and then heavens will be disidentifying, having the body disidentify from all the identities, and then dealing with the world mechanically now, without you existing the way it was existing before, because the me here is still around. It's like a tail. But it doesn't serve the same purpose that it was. It's obsolete. It's obsolete. It's no longer useful.
Look, Wally, Brandy said everybody in church believes in supernatural, but you speak about supernatural, then you're wacky.
That's big facts. That is one of the most profound things I've seen all day.
That is such a freaking contradiction.
Yeah.
and then
the body of Christ,
and then
drink his blood.
Then they deny how delusional that is. They will deny it right on your face.
Yeah,
aliens. What?
Aliens, spirits, spirits, gods. It's like, wait, hold on. Like, this is something wrong here.
Didn't he get resurrected? Like, people talking to burning bushes, but we can't talk to the trees. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, just because it ain't on fire.
And oh my goodness! And then the body could talk to anything. The body could, when the body talks to other objects, it's a different type of world. It's a different type of language. The body sometimes communicates with a phone by just looking at it, and then the phone gets the registration, and then the body is all of a sudden reaching for the phone.
Hey, it'd be funny, Wally, because I think like that's what I do at times. And then when I catch myself, I go, dang, you just kind of talking to yourself. But I'm like, dang, you always been talking to yourself.
I mean, the phone is a big break in the story now.
Out loud.
Let me tell you something. The phone is a big break in the story, especially for units like ours receiving this information, because you cannot be here all the time and you need a break. So I need a break. I scroll around, see the programs of others, and I was like, oh my goodness, this guy is going through what?
When I was on mushrooms, Wally, right? Piano Key, this probably happened to you, something like it. I'm tripping hard, right? It kicked in. I'm like, it kicked in real tough. So I look at my phone because I'm like I gotta call somebody and talk to somebody because the trip is going crazy.
Yeah.
And I looked at my phone and oh my God, bro, like the star system was popping up out of my phone and just spinning around. It was like different star systems, like, you know, like if it would be the Big Dipper or whatever, and it was just spinning around. It was like my phone wasn't even a phone. It was like a
hologram.
Yeah, it was weird. Yeah, it was a hologram that popped up, and I'm like, boy, I'm just looking at it like I don't even want to talk on that motherfucker.
How about when you take the psychedelic tree? Well, how about when you take shrooms and the whole life that you think you live in becomes a hologram? That's terrifying, bro. Yeah. Because then you see all the people going around, and then you go like you see them from you're like so far away in the story that you can't even find the place. But you know you're not here. You're not here, and then you're not here at the level of cognition that they are. You're like beyond that, and then you know it's a tough one.
That was my salvia experience,
Oh my God,
I was so far away from my body. I was like, what the hell, bro? My shit was
a killer.
My face was miles away from my thoughts, like miles and miles away. And I'm like going like, how the even my thinking is so far away from my face. I was like, how is this even possible?
Salvia is a monster. Salvia is a monster, man. If Salvia lasts like half an hour, there'll be a lot of people dead. There'll be a lot of people dead. There'll be a lot of people dead.
It literally split. Like I could feel whatever it was inside just split away from my body.
Salvia,
like,
and then
that's the first start of it. It's like
he hits you after a minute.
Yeah. Yeah, but I gotta go, y'all. I gotta go.
Oh man.
I'm sorry. I apologize. I'll be back later though.
Yeah, no doubt.
But I gotta, do family things. You know how it is.
It's all good.
Still
Same
got a
here.
family. I don't really know them. I think I know them now. I'm just playing.
Well, it's good chatting with you fellas, man. I'm gonna definitely get y'all some.
You ain't gotta work later, do you? Piano Key?
Nah, just me kicking with wifey.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Well, no, I'll try to pop back later and shit. You feel me?
Yeah, man. Enjoy the fam till then, though.
And I don't like I never have drinks in the daytime, and it's like one of them first times having a couple of drinks in the daytime, bro. It's different. Drinking in the day is not cool no more. Once it's like it's not cool no more. I don't like it.
Everything is better at night.
Yeah, exactly. It is.
Everything is better in the story here at night. Just here. I don't know.
And I'm hopefully when I pop in, I might be off a whole bar. So I'm about to
do. That's my plan as well, sir. So we'll be on the same frequency. Whole bar.
Because this is my Saturday night, and that's my usual. What I do is I dive in. So
yes, sir.
Oh man, you're gonna do that today?
Yeah,
that's the plan.
That's my Saturday nights.
Something is very jealous of you right here, right now.
Don't be, because I'm just a reflection of you.
Now I'm gonna go and fantasize what you're gonna go through, man.
I ain't gonna go through nothing. Wow. You know what it keeps showing me? My last few experiences has just been trying to make me understand that the outside is just a reflection of the mind.
Yeah,
and that's what it's been trying to make me understand, and it's hard to understand me seeing you seeing this right here. How is this a reflection of my mind?
Yeah. That's exactly what's going on in here. I'm not having a problem with the appearance. I'm having a problem with the characters that are in the appearance.
Yes, exactly.
Because they really lost. I mean, they're really asleep.
Yeah,
they have been programmed to worship labor. They have been programmed to worship gods. They have been, because I mean, when you get up in the morning, you don't like to go to work. You've been programmed to love labor. So the body has been put into that frequency, and then if it doesn't do that, it can't eat. It can't find gadgets. It can't do nothing.
Yeah,
it's crazy.
It's wild, right? Because I always say this to people, and it throws them off, and they go, I go, well, the lions or the animals, they don't pray to no God, and they be like, well, we different than them, and it's like, how?
That's funny that you say that, because they said that if a group of animals develop personal awareness, the first thing that they will build will be a church.
Wow. Never heard that.
I guess we the first animals that did.
Imagine, like I say, if 4 horses become aware that they're horses, the first thing that they will get together, let's build a church, some sort of a club, and then let's tell others this story to try to control them. That's what they will do.
But if you think about it, though, when you think of the mind as being a reflection of everything, when they build that church, it's God's house. I'm just saying, it's God's house. That's what they build. This is God's house. And what God needs the biggest house. He can't have just any kind of house. So that's why they build the mega churches. And the more people that come in, the bigger the house get. Because the more people begin to worship that thing.
Yeah.
So it makes sense. But still, it's crazy as hell, but it makes sense.
Yeah.
I get it. I'm gonna have to build God's house.
Man. All right, fellas, I'm dipping out myself, guys.
All right, Piano Key. All right, Wally. And all right, chat. Thank y'all for stopping by. Make sure you hit that like button on the way out. And until next time, man. Peace.